Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Michael Fernandez Jr. Today we're going to be talking about beginner credit cards, and really we're only going to be going over a few because I only want to talk about the ones that I've personally experienced and used myself. I will give some recommendations for other cards that I have not used, but I won't go into too much detail as again I don't have experience with them and I don't want to give too much information that I really don't know anything about. And if you find any of the cards interesting that I'm talking about today, there will be affiliate links in the description box. Go ahead and use those if you feel pleased to do so. It helps me out, also helps you out. You receive some kind of statement credit, so do I. So those are just some of the benefits to using my affiliate links. If not, go ahead and find these cards on your own, no problem. But let's get started with today's video. So the first card that we're going to talk about is Capital One. They have 3 different cards. 2 of the cards I actually have experience with, and the other one is kind of like a one-off of the card. Let's just get into it. So the Capital One Platinum card. Now this is really for anybody who's looking to get started with credit cards. You really don't have to have a good credit score. Matter of fact, you don't have to have any type of credit score. They pretty much will give a credit card to anybody. You will start off with something small, probably like a $500 credit limit, but you will get a credit increase usually within the first 5 months of making your payments on time. There's no rewards with the Platinum card. It's really just a basic beginner card. However, I really don't like the Capital One Platinum card, but again, if you're looking to just start in with any kind of credit card just to build your credit, this might be a go-to. And the only reason I bring up the Platinum credit card is because it was my very first credit card ever, before I ever knew about credit cards, any of the things that I'm going to be discussing in today's video. So that's why I bring it up. It was just one of my first credit cards ever, and I really didn't like it. However, Credit Card offers 2 other credit cards that you might find beneficial if you are starting out with a new one. So this one is the Quicksilver, and then they also have the Quicksilver One. And I'm just going to discuss the differences between those 2 cards, which might be beneficial to you in helping you decide which card you want to start out as a beginner. So I'll start off with the Quicksilver, which is the one I have currently. So I upgraded the Platinum to the Quicksilver, and we'll go over what that could do for you as a beginner in the credit card game. So the Quicksilver, you have some bonuses when you first sign up. They have, if you spend $500 in the first 3 months, then you'll receive a $150 credit statement. So essentially you purchase $500 worth of goods, you're going to get a $150 credit statement. So it's more like you only bought $350 worth of goods. Now they also offer other great benefits like 0% APR on both cash purchases and balance transfers for the first 15 months, which could be very useful for you, especially if you know what you're doing and want to learn how to use rewards or your 0% APR intro, to your benefit. So say, for example, you make a purchase of $500, you get that credit statement of $150. So now you only have $350 balance. Well, now I don't suggest this, but you do have 15 months in order to pay it off. I would get in the habit of paying off your credit cards in full every month, but there is that that little protection for you with the 0% APR for 15 months, just in case you can't make that payment in full at the end of the month. So that's a great thing to have, or you could use that to benefit you and maybe invest in some courses or, learn a new skill or pick up something that you could use. Don't spend your money out on, cars and shoes and clothes and belts. Really invest that money into yourself, into your future. Invest in a new online course, learn about taxes, learn about some kind of side job. I want to go for the $3,000 courses and all those crazy things, but maybe a few books and Amazon lessons or whatever it may be, you can use that 0% APR to your advantage and really invest in yourself. Now, they also have no annual fee, which is great. However, the downside to this card is they say you need excellent credit. However, that manipulation of word excellent credit varies, and it's Capital One, so I don't know how hard they hold true to the standard of excellent credit needed, but that's something to be aware of, because you don't want to get points knocked down on your credit score just for applying for cards knowing you're not going to get them. Now let's talk about the Quicksilver One. credit card. Now, this is for the person with average credit, which could be lower to subpar credit, meaning if you're just getting into the credit card game, this card might be for you. Now, they have 1.5% cash back on everything. Every single purchase, you're getting 1.5% cash back. However, this card does have an annual fee. It's a small one at $39 per year. So you do pay $39 per year. So they're making money on the people that haven't had a credit score, and maybe they don't have many choices to get into the credit card game, but you do get 1.5% cash back on all purchases, which is good. However, there are other cards out there that give you more, like the Citi Double Cash. There's a Discover, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit later in the video. So there are other choices, but if you have lower to subpar credit, then this may be your go-to card. However, this card doesn't have some of the great features like 0% APR on balance transfers or cash purchases like the Quicksilver card does. However, they do have similarities they both offer the CreditWise credit score, so you get access to your credit score, which is great, especially when you're building credit. You do want to see those things being added, numbers going up, using your credit wisely. So you like to see those things. Both of those cards offer that. And another cool thing when you're just starting with the credit cards, usually within the first 5 months, if you make your payments on time, they do increase your credit line. Usually with the Capital One, you're not going to start off with much, especially if this is your first credit card ever. Usually somewhere around $500 to $1,000, but they do increase that within the first 5 months if you make your payments on time. So that's something to think about when you're considering signing up for Capital One. But now let's talk about my favorite credit card if you are just beginning in the credit card game, and we're going to talk about Discover It card. And I don't only have one, but I actually have two cards from Discover It. That's how much I liked them when I started off my journey with credit cards. So let's run down some of the first obvious things that are good about the Discover It card. One is that it's a no annual fee credit card. Two, just like the other Capital One, they offer 0% APR on balance transfers and cash purchases for 14 months. But they also have other cool features like the FICO credit score. You could freeze your account at any time if it's been lost or stolen, your card's been lost or stolen. So they have so many great features. They have great customer service. But let's talk about some of the details about Discover It and why I personally like them so much. So one of the first things I liked about Discover is the 5% cash back on quarterly categories. But also at the end of the first year, they match that cash back bonus penny for penny, dollar for dollar. So what that means is every quarter they have different categories that you earn 5% cash back. Sometimes it may be gas stations, it may be when you use Uber rides, when you shop at Amazon, Target, grocery stores. So every quarter it's something different where they're offering 5% cash back, which is usually much more than any other credit card. But you got to remember, again, it's only quarterly. So April through June, you're only earning 5% cash back on those specific categories. But if you're using this within your first year, that 5% cash back is getting matched by Discover. So essentially, in your first year, every quarter, you could be earning 10% cash back, which is awesome. And when you're not earning 5% cash back on those quarterly categories, you are earning 1% cash back on all other purchases. However, that's not very provoking because there are many other cards that give more than 1% cash back, just like the Quicksilver One card gives the 1.5% cash back. There's the Citi Double Cash, which gives 2% cash back on everything. So there are other cards that give more than the 1% cash back. However, if in your first year you're taking advantage of those 5% cash back quarterly spends, you can be receiving 10% cash back on all purchases during the year. So as I mentioned earlier with the 0% APR intro bonus for 14 months, this is where I actually learned to love Discover because if you guys leave a comment, I'll actually let you know how I got 24 months of interest-free APR on the Discover It card. But you got to leave a comment in below if you want me to describe how I did that, maybe even give you a line by line of talking with the customer rep. And that's another reason why I like Discover. Customer service is through the roof. They're great, easy to work with. Credit line increases, super easy to get with Discover. Capital One, they have an algorithm. You can't do it over the phone for a credit line increase. You have to do it online. And if you don't meet the algorithm, they're not going to give you a credit line increase. With Discover, they're easy to talk to. You call up and request a credit line increase. They're usually generous. But I could save that for another video, but you got to leave a comment down below asking me, how did I get 24 months of 0% APR with the Discover It card? And to be qualified for the Discover It card, usually the average credit score is around a 648 on the FICO score. So if you do have access to your credit score and you know you have around a 648 or better, most likely you will be approved for the Discover It card. And when you start to learn how to use these 5% cashback categories, and even in your first year get those 5% cash back matched by Discover, you're really learning how to take advantage of the reward systems of using credit cards, not holding balances, but using the rewards of the credit cards to your advantage. So then when you get to those higher level tier cards with the $500 annual fees, you're really taking advantage of the free travel, everything that those perks have with the higher credit cards. So this is really a gateway into all of that, using that 5% cash back, getting it matched, because who doesn't like seeing cash back for the purchases they're already spending their money on? It's a great feeling, especially when it's being matched in the first year. So this is the simplest way to get introduced to those reward systems of credit cards. So that's it for me with the credit cards I would suggest to you as a beginner. However, another honorable mention is the Citi Double Cash. Again, you get 1% cash back when you purchase and then 1% cash back when you buy. So 2% cash back on pretty much everything. That's another honorable mention. However, I never experienced that card, so I don't want to go too much into detail about what that card offers, the pros and cons, what their customer service is like, because I don't have experience with that card. You could go look up the reviews yourself. You could go look at what they're offering for yourself. But those are some of my choices. I would not suggest Wells Fargo because you have to have $1,500 in your account at all times. And I would not suggest cards like that for you guys. There's a few other cards out there, just not a fan of them, don't have experience with them, so I'm not going to go ahead and recommend those cards to you. With that being said, if you enjoy any of the cards I talked about, again, there are affiliate links below. It does help me out, but you do receive some benefit to that as well. So it's not just beneficial for me, but you don't have to use those links if you do not want to. Please go out and make smart decisions, research everything that I talk about, look into the details yourself and see what card fits your needs, fits your lifestyle, and take it from there. I really appreciate you guys sitting through another video with me. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you want to know how I got that 24 months 0% APR with the Discover It card. I'll also give you a bonus how to talk to them when you're on the line, kind of a script. I could give you guys a script for how to get that credit line increase and how to get 0% APR even further than the 14 months that they offer to everyone when they first sign up. But you got to leave a comment below and let me know you want to see a video like that if you want the actual script. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one.